Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode of The Two Count. It is your boy Charlie. I got my boy Dave to the side of me, and we are here.
What's going on, everybody?
And we are here to discuss a pretty interesting topic. It's an amazing weekend for wrestling, right, Dave?
That's right.
Now, before we get into the matter at hand, I just want to ask our followers, the proud but few followers that we have following us on the channel, please keep your wishes and prayers with Kyle. His mother is going through a lot right now. That's why Kyle is not with us today, and you are with the OGs of the channel. Please keep him in your prayers. There's a lot going on right now with his family, and he could use the support. So, on to a more positive note. It has been an incredibly interesting week for wrestling. Monday Night Raw had a lot going on, and we're going to get into the implications of Survivor Series a little bit later in a different video. But Smackdown had something really interesting happen, probably the biggest piece of news to come out of Monday Night Raw and Smackdown Live, and that is the fact that there is a new WWE Heavyweight Champion in the American Dragon himself, Daniel Bryan. It's not the way I thought Daniel was going to be winning the title. Frankly, I was kind of surprised by the entire chain of events that occurred. But Dave, my man, what do you think?
I'll be honest, man. It caught me off guard. I didn't expect that at all. I didn't expect Daniel to win anything close to a championship until maybe Mania or something like that. I mean, we all knew that, at one point, sooner or later, that AJ Bryan feud was gonna, commence at some point. But I didn't think it was gonna be this early.
No.
You know what I mean?
My question for you is:
it threw me off.
Do you think that this was supposed to happen at Crown Jewel?
It could have. I don't put it past it. But this is my thing, right? Like, he doesn't go to Crown Jewel.
Yep.
Right? Misses the event. He's very vocal why. And he gets a championship match and wins. He goes over.
Well, I had heard that in his new WWE deal, not inside knowledge or anything, in his new WWE deal, one of the things that he requested is creative control. Now, Bryan has always had a little bit of control over his character. During the whole Yes Movement build-up, they wanted to hand him the title multiple times, and he said no. So I would not be surprised if
he used that clause.
If they used that clause and this heel turn was actually his own decision.
I mean, seems like the heels are getting more over than the baby faces nowadays. So,
well, I feel like his character was almost in a little bit of a rut, right? He was coming out every week. He was doing his yes chants. He was getting a reaction, but he wasn't getting the reaction that he was during the entire yes movement. And if you remember correctly, the yes chant actually came when Daniel was a heel.
Yeah.
He was trying to be obnoxious, and it kind of just, spurned out, and that's where the whole yes movement originally started. Also,
turn him into this major fucking baby face.
Also, the American Dragon was a heel, right? So I think Bryan actually likes playing the role of heel. It fits him well. And looking at the entire situation, it came completely out of nowhere, which is usually how the best things happen. And he pulled it off so well. It was really very well done. The referee gets hit. He kicks AJ in the gonads, which I'm taking a step back. What is with all of the kicking in the nuts all of a sudden?
They have nothing better to do. That's the shit.
Can't we think of something else better that's a heel-like? Can't he, pull a pipe out and hit him with the pipe?
We literally just saw a fucking feud where AJ was getting kicked in his balls every fucking time.
So what happened?
And
Daniel kicks him in the
right
balls.
Back to it.
It's like, come on, guys, give us something a little more original. But Bryan did it well. It looked brutal. It looked really vicious. And then he did the running knee and pinned him. And I was genuinely excited because I felt like I won twice. I love AJ Styles. I thought it was time for his title reign to come to an end, and I like that they handed the belt to Bryan.
Oh no, his reign as a champion should have ended with Samoa Joe.
Yeah, yep.
My personal opinion.
Well, I wanted them to give it to Almas. I thought it would have been the perfect way. You have Almas take out Styles. You get a young guy to take out, your veteran champion. It would have elevated Almas a whole lot.
Yeah, I like that idea too, but I don't know, man. I wish it was Joe that got the rub instead of someone else. I think he deserves it more than anyone right now on that roster.
I don't think Joe's ever going to get the rub. I really don't.
And it sucks because he could really be a fucking great champion.
Oh, you watch his matches, you watch his in-ring psychology, you watch the promos that he cuts, and he has everything that it takes to be an incredible heel champion. But I don't think WWE wants to pull the trigger on that. I think you've now got Daniel Bryan as a heel. You're going to see months and months of Daniel versus AJ, potentially. Who are the other faces on SmackDown, really, though? Jeff Hardy, who cares?
Rey Mysterio,
who cares? I mean, I like Rey, don't get me wrong, but...
There's not really much faces. What, Rusev?
Rusev, maybe.
I think Rusev could get a run. Should deserve one.
I think someone else is going to have to shift to face now to make up for the fact that Bryan is a heel. Or there's an abundance of faces on Raw. Maybe some trade has to happen between the two brands that brings, let's say, an Elias or maybe a Finn Balor over to SmackDown.
I would like to see Finn Balor and AJ on one brand.
Yeah, whether that
hasn't happened yet, but I would love to see it.
Whether that be Raw or SmackDown, I feel like the rosters are completely imbalanced right now altogether, and this Daniel Bryan flip just made it even worse.
It's because I don't know. I also see AJ jumping to Raw because of the lack of star power you have on Raw right now. AJ, Roman is out.
I feel like you have more star power on Raw still than you do on SmackDown, though.
Yeah.
Think about
it. Remember, I mean, SmackDown has always been the underdog. But it can't be like that come next year once Fox takes that contract over. So that's why they're gonna hire the big boys.
Yep, the big boys are coming in. So let's step back to Daniel Bryan for a second now. So we've got Daniel.
I was gonna say something on Daniel. The only issue that I have with him winning the title is because I don't want to see him go against Brock. Because I feel like the match is just going to be... He's going to do the same thing he did to the Singh brother the other day. Did you see that?
Frankly, I'm afraid for Daniel getting hurt. Brock has
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Did you see what Brock did to the Singh brother?
Yeah. I've seen it. I'm afraid for Daniel because Brock never holds back. And he's a little brutal, and he's going to dump Daniel on his head for 10 minutes. That's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
However, I will say that Daniel Bryan has wanted this match for a very long time. This has been the dream match that Daniel Bryan wanted. He wanted Brock Lesnar.
I mean, that's fine with me, but I don't see for what, bro. Like, they're not even in the same weight class.
No, but I think he thinks look, the best match that I've seen Brock Lesnar put on in his WWE reign over the past couple of years was actually the match for CM Punk at SummerSlam a couple of years back.
Him and Punk?
Him and Punk was one of his best, if not the best, one of his best matches since he came back to WWE.
I gotta check that out. I haven't seen it.
It was a brutal back.
I don't remember it, at least.
It was when Brock still gave a shit a little bit more. It was a brutal back and forth match in which, Punk played to using his kicks, his punches, his knees, really trying to hurt Brock, and it was believable that Punk could beat Brock. And that's the type of match that Daniel's going to have to put on in order to be able to beat Brock or make it believable that he can beat Brock, because I just don't buy, at all Daniel being able to lock Brock in the yes lock. It would be like a little chip. You're going to throw it off of him. You know what I mean? So he's going to have to beat him with a hard-hitting, like Japanese strong style to be able to take Brock down. And if they could pull that off, that's great. If not, the match is going to be deflated.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about him versus Brock. I don't like it at all. So it's going to be an ugly match.
So
what I would like to see moving forward from this, I now honestly, from all the predictions that we made that it was going to be Daniel and Miz, and I don't know what the fuck happened to Miz and Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. That would have been a great program.
I mean,
I would love to see that.
The only way that it could still happen is if the Miz goes face, which would be weird. To be honest with you, Miz actually just put up a post on Instagram, rather interesting. He said, "See, I told you so. I was right about Daniel Bryan all along. Chance after chance after chance after chance at the title, and then he weasels his way to a championship." So Miz is actually playing it like Daniel was the bad guy all along. Maybe this is the opportunity where he turns face. I mean, his reaction has been overly positive the past couple months. So maybe WWE is doing almost a role reversal here.
So what do you think, though? I don't know. I've never seen the Miz as a face.
We've seen it.
He's never played a face character.
We've seen it before. He's been a face in the past. We've seen it, but
it
went poorly.
It wasn't. It wasn't his best.
It went poor. He got boring.
Yeah, I don't want to see that happen to him. He's right now at a level that he can blow at any time.
Yep.
Why fuck it up?
Yeah, no, it definitely went poor, and it definitely got boring very, very quickly. Look.
I mean, what are your expectations on this? Like, how do you feel about him being champion? What do you want to see him do as champion? What do you expect to happen in the long run?
I don't see him losing the title before Mania. Now that there's been a switch, you've got to, I think you're looking at
cheat until Mania.
I think you're looking at a 6-month title reign. I don't know who the guy that's going to dethrone him is, because it has to be a face now. And I just don't know what face is going to take the title. If you look at the blue brand, you've got Randy Orton, heel.
When is Kevin Owens supposed to come back?
Oh, dude, he's out for a while, past Mania.
He's out for like 9 months, right?
And he's going to come back to Raw anyway. He might return on Survivor Series. Like, he might return the Raw after Mania, let's say, after they do a draft. And if he's going to go, he'll go in the draft. But I don't know. I don't know exactly who they could put unless there is another option. The only other thing I could potentially think of is an NXT call-up and have him take the championship. To fight Bryan as a face. Maybe bring up Gargano as a face. Maybe bring up Ciampa. No, Ciampa's got to be a heel. Maybe bring up Aleister Black. Maybe. I mean, it would be awesome.
So what? You're gonna take these guys from NXT and just win the title right away? I don't see it like that.
Let's say, for argument's sake, they bring up Adam Cole. Just throwing Adam Cole out there. Let's say they bring up Undisputed Era. Let's say Undisputed Era loses their titles at War Games, comes up the Smackdown after Survivor Series, makes their way into the Royal Rumble. Cole wins the Royal Rumble. Cole versus Bryan at WrestleMania.
That's what they need, bro. If they really want their shit to blow up, if they want this shit to go boom, they need to call up the Undisputed Era, bring them into SmackDown.
Yep.
Have AJ and Balor on SmackDown with the club, and have them
feuding.
Go at it.
And then have the Elite.
Then you can eventually, throw in the Elite
and
somewhere.
Have them all battle for supremacy. The only question is, then Raw pretty much just has nothing, so they can't really do that either, unless they somehow.
But Raw has its talents. I mean, they have the Shield.
You do have two guys.
Well, they have the Shield whenever Roman comes back.
Yep.
They have
Elias, Braun, some other guys there.
Yeah, they have pretty good people. I mean, it's just it sucks that
Roman Yeah.
Roman got hurt, and there's a bunch of fucking injuries right now. That's the only reason why I see all the changes happening.
I'm looking at it like this. I'm happy Daniel Bryan is champion. The means to get there was kind of interesting. I'm curious to see where it takes AJ Styles now. I'm so used to seeing AJ with the championship that when he's not champion, it's kind of odd. I think the last time he lost the WWE championship, they gave him the US title for like a few months in between. He had like a feud with Owens, I think. And then they instantly gave him back the WWE title a few months after that. So I'm curious to see where AJ is going to go. As far as Bryan goes, dude, that grin that he had after turning heel looked money. If there's one thing that I could say about Daniel Bryan, it's that guy knows how to wrestle, and he knows the wrestling business. So I think he's going to be able to pull off being a heel incredibly well. It's just, to me...
No, I don't have a shadow of a doubt. He's going to be a great champion. Great heel champion. But it's just...
Why?
Like, I can't even fucking tell what the fuck is going to happen, because it was such a crazy move and out of nowhere.
Yeah, why do it? And let me ask you, why do it now?
On a Smackdown.
I get it was maybe supposed to happen at Crown Jewel, and that makes even more sense that it was supposed to happen at Crown Jewel. But then don't give it to me the Smackdown before Survivor Series. Give it to me in that match where,
But then I wonder what happened. Something must have happened with AJ.
Maybe like he's hurt or something?
That's the only thing I can imagine.
No, I think he was supposed to win it at Crown Jewel, man. I really think that's what's supposed to happen. I think he was supposed to have that flip. I think that was the
still,
exact...
like, they announced, okay, Crown Jewel didn't happen because Bryan didn't show. The next week on Raw, the next day on Raw, you announce Brock Lesnar versus AJ. Why even announce it if you're gonna have
more of a surprise?
Bryan down the line.
More of a surprise, because it happened last year too. Remember, it was supposed to be Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar, and then AJ beat Jinder Mahal for the title, and it became AJ versus Brock.
Mm-hmm.
They did it again, same exact flip.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where it leads now. Where it leads to. Well, I like it that I don't know where it leads to. Surprised me.
Needless to say, I think we're done with the yes chants now, right? That's kind of end of an era.
I think they move on to heel Daniel Bryan, and I'm excited to see what
Yeah, I'm excited to see it too. I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be weird seeing Daniel walk out Stone Cold to the ring with a grin on his face, as opposed to yes. But you know what? That had to have been boring for him too. He's been doing it for 5-6 years now, so I'm excited for the character refresh. Nothing but love for Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson. What up? And let's see what the next couple months bring. And where with that,
I just like that it's you can't tell what's gonna happen next.
Yep, it's blurring.
I like that. If they keep it like that, then.
Well, and I think that's one of the only things. I think right now you're looking at 3 things in WWE programming that you're actually going, that's pretty interesting. 1 is Daniel Bryan's heel turn. 2 is Becky Lynch and whatever she does because she's a fucking man. And 3 is...
I treated her to beat the man, you gotta beat him. To be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Yep, that's it. And number 3 out of this whole puzzle is Dean and Seth, who have looked really good thus far in their feud. So, I mean, that's about it. So, guys, we ask that you please like the channel, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Please support us, help this channel grow. We are trying to be, and if I don't stress this enough, we are looking to be the basically political talking head show of professional wrestling versus all of the other programs that do nothing but just spit facts. We want to have conversations, and we want to have a conversation with you. So please subscribe to the channel, like this video, tell your friends, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. So I bid you guys adieu. Y'all have a great night.
Bang.
Just when you think you've got the answers, I'm changing the questions. What's going on, guys? So I know you probably thought this video was over, and frankly, when Dave and I recorded it, sometime last week, because we typically film in sessions, It was over. That's all we knew about Daniel Bryan. So I wanted to jump back in because it's been an interesting couple days in the development of Daniel Bryan, and I didn't want to give you an incomplete story. So I'm coming back here by myself, just adding this little bit of a follow-up to the video to give you guys some context over the things that we've witnessed over the past couple days. So I'm going to take you to actually Survivor Series and the match between Brock Lesnar and Daniel Bryan, in which Daniel Bryan put up one of the most amazing heel portrayals against Brock I've ever seen. This little guy, Daniel, was taunting this gigantic beast. Talk about a flip of David and Goliath. If we were booking Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar about 6 months ago, we probably would have had the he'll never be able to beat him, show this story of like the guy just, training to fight Brock and really going crazy to try to beat him, and then maybe coming to an inch of almost beating him and losing, or even beating him by a fluke. However, stories changed and Daniel Bryan has turned heel. Bryan did a great job of mocking him throughout the match. And I think, again, I don't know what it is about low blows. I'm really getting agitated with WWE using low blows as a device or a crutch. There's probably a million other things they could do. A rake of the eyes, something other than, Shinsuke Nakamura hit him in the nuts, and then you got Dean Ambrose hitting Seth Rollins in the nuts yesterday on Raw. You have Daniel Bryan kicking Brock Lesnar and AJ Styles in the nuts. It's like, guys, we get it. Come on, be a little bit more original than let's book it with a kick in the nuts. I get it. It's bad. It hurts men. It hurts men really bad. And it would, give somebody an upper hand or an advantage and allow them to do something they wouldn't normally be able to do. But at the end of the day, do we really need to see it continue over and over again, which is starting to get a little bit irritating. That said, I think all in all, that was a great match. It helped further Bryan as a heel. You saw little bits of the guy that you loved in terms of the way that he put his in-ring style together. It was still very much Daniel Bryan in the ring. But the way that he carried himself, the yes chants with the broken yes chant, where he did one or two and then looked around and was like, nah. And then when he was in the match, he wasn't trying to get crowd support. He wasn't trying to do anything like that. He literally was intense. He was the American Dragon, which I personally love. I've been waiting for a while. The yes movement was great, but it had its time. And Daniel was becoming stale. So they needed to do something to break him out of that element, and I think he's playing it off well. Believe it or not, Daniel is one of the greatest wrestling minds in the business. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if he had actually been one of the voices that orchestrated his heel turn. Just like with the yes movement, he had said, don't give me the title just yet. So let's fast forward. So Daniel loses. It looked like he was going to win after the nut shot and the amazing beating he gave Lesnar. One of Lesnar's best matches in the past 2 years. Easy. So it looked like he was going to win. He didn't. But then he comes to Smackdown today. And Daniel cut on Smackdown a complete third person. It was really funny listening to it. A complete third-person promo where he probably said the name Daniel Bryan at least 75 times throughout this 5-minute promo. And he talks about why he turned heel. Now, when you listen to the reasoning of why he turns heel, it makes a lot of sense, which is good for the story of it. And inversely, you also see Miz starting to turn face. So their rivalry is going to continue just with reversed roles. And the crowd is chanting, Miz is awesome. They're behind them. So, it's working. It's legitimately working. And Bryan, you could see the fans were getting angry with them, which again, that's his job. He's drawing heat. So Bryan comes out, he cuts a promo, and the promo, basically the gist of it is this. He fought for his dreams. He was told he would never be able to make it back. He's turned an evil story. He's turned the fight for your dreams theme into an evil tone. So he was fighting for his dreams. He was told he couldn't do anything. And after the months and months and months and months and months of coming back and being told that he couldn't do it, it eventually put a chip on his shoulder, and it made him want to come back and be the best. So he put himself in a hyperbolic chamber with nothing to do but think. And he came back and he tried to be the yes guy. He tried to be the Daniel Bryan. But now we get a new Daniel Bryan, which is what he's positioning himself. I wish he would have rather said, I'm the American Dragon Daniel Bryan, because I think the crowd would have bugged out. But again, heel, you don't want to do that. But the new Daniel Bryan is basically saying, I'm going to do whatever it takes to live my dream, which is to be WWE champion. which puts him in a heel light. So we've got Daniel, 100% heel. His justification and explanation for it is, in order for him to live his dream, he needs to win the championship and maintain the championship by any means possible. And from this point on, it is no longer about the fans. The Yes Movement is dead. And in addition to that, there is a new Daniel Bryan. And he stood there with a smug look on his face. I think it was an excellent promo. It was delivered very well. I'm curious to see where they're going to take his story over the next couple months. How long will he hold on to that title? Will he be champion to WrestleMania after a feud with AJ? Who's taking it off of him? Probably Miz. But end of the day, I'm interested. Which, look, right now in WWE, there's probably only about 3 or 4 storylines I'm interested in. Charlotte Flair's a badass right now. Becky Lynch, obviously. The Dean Seth scenario is pretty incredible. And the whole thing with Daniel. So just wanted to jump back in, give you that little bit of an update. I'd love personally your thoughts, guys, because this is really interesting. So if you please comment in below, let us know what you think. I will respond to every single comment. I don't even care if you call me a douchebag dad. I will respond to every single comment that you guys put out there because I'd love to have a conversation. I'm just a wrestling fan trying to talk to you. So with that, again, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. We really appreciate all your support. We're trying to grow this thing and be the political talk show, sort of professional wrestling. So with that, you guys, y'all have a great week. You have a happy Thanksgiving. I bid you adieu, and I look forward to the next time we chat. You'll have a good one. Bye.